Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will explore the 4 types of narcissists as defined by neuropsychologist Dr. Sanam Hafiz. Narcissism, a term that has its roots in Greek mythology, is now recognized as a complex personality disorder in the realms of psychology and mental health. It is characterized by a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, an overwhelming need for admiration, and a profound lack of empathy towards others. While Narcissus, the character from Greek mythology, fell in love with his own reflection, modern-day narcissists fall in love with the idea of themselves. They're often excessively preoccupied with their own interests, desires, and needs, often disregarding the feelings and needs of others. This self-centeredness is not just a trait, but a shield used to cover deep-seated insecurities and a fragile self-esteem that's vulnerable to the slightest criticism. Understanding narcissism, however, is not as simple as it seems. It's not a one-size-fits-all condition. Just as there are different shades of colors, there are also different types of narcissist, each with their unique characteristics and ways of dealing with the world around them. In this enlightening exploration, we will be guided by the insights of neuropsychologist Dr. Sanam Hafiz. Dr. Hafiz has identified 4 types of narcissists: the grandiose, the malignant, the covert, or vulnerable, and the communal. Each of these types exhibits narcissism in different ways, and understanding these differences can be a key step in recognizing and dealing with narcissists in our lives. So, buckle up, and get ready to delve deeper into understanding narcissism. We will take you through a journey to understand the 4 distinct types of narcissists. Stay tuned as we begin with the grandiose narcissist in the next segment. First on our list is the grandiose narcissist. This type of narcissist, as described by neuropsychologist Dr. Sanam Hafiz, is one that we may encounter quite often in our daily lives. The grandiose narcissist is characterized by an air of arrogance, a constant need for attention, a sense of entitlement, and a tendency to be jealous of others. Now let's delve a bit deeper into these characteristics. The arrogance of the grandiose narcissist is not subtle. It's a loud, overbearing confidence that often overshadows the voices of those around them. This arrogance is not necessarily based on any real achievements or abilities, but rather on their inflated sense of self-worth. Coupled with this arrogance is an insatiable need for attention. The grandiose narcissist thrives in the spotlight, always seeking to be the center of attention. Whether it's at a social gathering, a work meeting, or even a casual conversation, they have a knack for steering the focus towards themselves. Then comes entitlement, perhaps one of the most telling signs of a grandiose narcissist. They believe that they deserve special treatment, that the world owes them. They expect to be catered to be put on a pedestal regardless of their actions or treatment of others. And lastly, we have jealousy. The grandiose narcissist is often envious of others' success, achievements, or possessions. Instead of celebrating others, they view their success as a threat, as something that diminishes their own self-perceived greatness. So there you have it, the grandiose narcissist in a nutshell. They're the ones with the big personalities, the inflated egos, the ones who demand the spotlight and expect the world to revolve around them. But remember, this sense of superiority is often a facade, a mask they wear to hide their deep-seated insecurities. The grandiose narcissist thrives on the spotlight, and their sense of entitlement knows no bounds. As we dive deeper into the world of narcissism, we'll explore other types as well, so stay tuned. Next, we delve into the world of the malignant narcissist. This type of narcissist, as described by neuropsychologist Dr. Sanam Hafiz, can be quite damaging to those around them. Dr. Hafiz characterizes the malignant narcissist as someone who will lash out or violate others to boost their fragile ego. So let's break that down a bit. Imagine a person who, when feeling threatened or insecure, reacts not with introspection, but with outward aggression. They might belittle, manipulate, or even physically harm others, all in an attempt to reaffirm their own self-worth. This is the malignant narcissist in action. The key to recognizing a malignant narcissist lies in their tendency to harm others, to elevate their own sense of self. It's a destructive pattern that can leave a trail of emotional wreckage in its wake. They might seem charming and charismatic at first, but beneath the surface, their main concern is always their own self-interest. It's crucial to understand that the malignant narcissist's actions are not about you, but rather about their own internal struggles. Their self-esteem is so fragile that they resort to hurting others as a means of self-preservation. In dealing with a malignant narcissist, remember that their actions are a reflection of their own insecurities, not a measure of your worth. It can be difficult to navigate a relationship with such individuals, and it's important to prioritize your own well-being. The malignant narcissist can cause harm to others just to elevate their own sense of self. These individuals can be very damaging to the people around them, and it's important to recognize their behaviors and protect your own self-worth. Now, we uncover the covert or vulnerable narcissist. This is the type of narcissist that doesn't wear their arrogance on their sleeve, but rather they hide behind a veil of victimhood. Neuropsychologist Dr. Sanam Hafiz describes these individuals as deeply self-absorbed, harboring a strong sense of victimization. To them, the world has failed to recognize their excellence. The covert narcissist is not as immediately recognizable as their grandiose or malignant counterparts. They don't demand the spotlight, nor do they openly violate others to boost their ego. Instead, they wallow in self-pity, believing that they are the victims of an unfair world that doesn't appreciate their inherent worth. This narcissist is skilled at playing the victim, often eliciting sympathy and support from those around them. However, beneath this facade of vulnerability lies an inflated sense of self-importance just as pronounced as that of any other narcissist. They believe they are superior and their perceived sufferings are greater than anyone else's. One of the most damaging aspects of a covert narcissist is their refusal to take responsibility for their actions. They never own up to their mistakes. Instead, they cast blame outward, pointing fingers at everyone and everything but themselves. This tendency to evade responsibility and shift blame can leave those around them feeling confused and guilty, questioning their own actions and perceptions. This is the covert narcissist's modus operandi. They manipulate others into believing they are the wronged party, the misunderstood genius, the neglected talent. Their narrative is one of constant disappointment and unmet expectations, where they are forever the victim and never the perpetrator. And here lies the sting in the tail. The covert narcissist may not be as transparent, but their toxicity is equally damaging. They erode the self-esteem of those around them, fostering an environment of guilt, doubt, and confusion. Remember, recognizing these traits is the first step in protecting yourself from the covert narcissist's insidious influence. The covert narcissist may not be as transparent, but their toxicity is equally damaging. Lastly, we spotlight the communal narcissist. This type of narcissist is a unique specimen in the narcissistic spectrum. According to neuropsychologist Dr. Sanam Hafiz, a communal narcissist is someone who gains validation from community-related aspects of life. They're not the type to shy away from a camera, especially when they're at charity events, galas, or making any form of public contributions. Their social media platforms are usually awash with photos and posts of them participating in these activities, showcasing their philanthropy to the world. Now, you might be wondering, what's wrong with being proud of doing good and sharing it with the world? Well, nothing inherently, but with communal narcissists, the motive behind these altruistic deeds is not so much about the cause or the community they are helping. It's more about them. It's about how these actions make them look in the eyes of others. It's about the validation, the admiration, and the praise they receive for their good deeds. These individuals have a deep-seated need to be seen as benefactors or saviors. They crave recognition and applause for their actions, no matter how big or small. Their great deeds are less about the impact they make and more about the ego stimulation they get from being seen as charitable, kind, or selfless. It's not uncommon for them to exaggerate their contributions or to take credit for others' work, all in the name of maintaining their image. In essence, the communal narcissist uses their good deeds as a way to bolster their ego. They are masters of manipulation, using their seemingly altruistic actions to craft a persona of generosity and kindness while hiding their true narcissistic nature. It's important to remember that beneath that veneer of philanthropy lies the same core narcissistic traits: a deep need for admiration, a lack of empathy, and a grandiose sense of self-importance. Do you recognize any of these types of narcissists? Comment below. Understanding narcissists is one part of the equation. Knowing how to deal with them is another. Let's delve into some general strategies that can help you manage interactions with narcissists, regardless of their type. One of the first steps is to set firm boundaries. Narcissists often have a knack for overstepping lines, and it's essential that you establish and maintain clear limits. Remember, you have the right to express your needs and expect respect in any relationship. Next, it's crucial to preserve your self-esteem. Narcissists may try to belittle or undermine you to boost their own ego. However, it's important to remember that their behavior is a reflection of their own insecurities, not your worth. Keep reminding yourself of your strengths, achievements, and values. Another essential strategy is not to take their behavior personally. Narcissists often project their own issues onto others. It's their struggle, not yours. Try to view their actions objectively as something separate from you. Seeking professional help is also a viable option, especially if you find the narcissist's behavior severely affecting your mental health. Therapists can provide invaluable insights and coping strategies, helping you navigate through this challenging situation. Lastly, remember to take care of your emotional health. Engage in activities that you love, spend time with people who uplift you, and practice self-care regularly. It's not selfish to prioritize your well-being, it's necessary. In some cases, ending the relationship might be the best course of action. It's a tough decision, but sometimes it's the only way to protect your mental health. If you decide to continue the relationship, ensure you have a strong support system and coping mechanisms in place. Remember, protecting your mental health should always be your priority. We've journeyed through the minds of 4 types of narcissists today. We've met the Grandiose Narcissist with their attention-seeking and entitlement, the Malignant Narcissist who will go to great lengths to boost their fragile ego, the Covert or Vulnerable Narcissist who blames the world for their failures, and lastly, the Communal Narcissist who seeks validation through community-related deeds. We've also explored strategies to cope with them, from recognizing their behaviors to protecting your self-worth. It's important to remember that these patterns are not about you, but about their struggle to love others due to a lack of self-love. If you found this information useful, do consider subscribing for more content on narcissists and other personality disorders. We have a series of videos lined up to provide you with insights and coping strategies. Which strategies will you work on first to deal with narcissists? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, you're not alone in this journey.